shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
We still have rain across our area from our potential tropical system, but it is on its way out. I'll show you when the rain will stop where you are if it hasn't already.
And we're keeping an eye on road conditions, power outages all locally this morning, as well as keeping an eye on the coast after historic rainfall there. We'll tell you what you can expect as you start your day.
And today, a review of some safety policies in Wake County schools, what the school system is doing after students at one high school were outside in dangerous heat for hours after a bomb threat. That was back at the end of August. Here we are in mid-September, and it is feeling very tropical out there after that storm system dumped significant rain all across the viewing area. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, great to have you along here. Not just our viewing area, all the way down to the coast. Just historic rainfall. We're going to show you some of the video here. It's just amazing to see this morning. But first off, let's get to Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. We're still looking at this radar here.
Yeah, still some rain out there. All this rain is lifting northward now. Yesterday, it was all about, at least this time yesterday, it was all about what was happening in our southern counties. We do have some rain here in Wake County and northward. We'll zoom in here and you can see this band of some showers moving up toward Chapel Hill, Wake Forest, say around Lewisburg, seeing some heavy rain there with some thunder and lightning. Not as much right along the Virginia line, but that continues to move northward. This is a live look at Lewisburg where we have a little cell nearby. We've been watching some lightning there. A quick look at some of the rainfall totals. Hasn't been as much, around 1/4 inch or so near the Virginia line, but we've seen in the Triangle about 2 inches, and then in Fayetteville about 2.5 inches, 3 in Clinton. Definitely some pockets in our area that were heavier than that, but we saw as much as 15 to almost 20 inches of rain in some places along the coast. A little breezy still here in the Triangle. We're looking at gusts up to 23 miles per hour. And we check out Futurecast, and we'll continue to have some waves of rain during the morning commutes. The morning commute's going to stay wet. At lunchtime, that rain moves up closer to the Virginia line, but continues through the evening commute north of Durham and Rocky Mount. So keep that in mind. But our southern counties may actually see a little bit of sunshine. So certainly we're going to see a warm day today. Our temperatures will continue to climb hour by hour, looking at temperatures in the upper 70s. Coming up, we're going to talk more about the sunshine that's on our way and how long that sticks around. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, at 4:32. Good morning, everybody. Great to start your Tuesday morning with us. Raleigh police have been busy for the last half hour, but no major incidents really to report that's going to slow you down on any of the major roadways. We do have the WRAL storm tracker out on the roads this morning. Laura Levine giving us a closer look at the conditions where you are. You're on 40 East in Durham. What are you seeing right now, Laura?
Hey, Ken, yes, you can probably hear it in the WRAL storm tracker. That rain really coming down at this moment. If we take a look at the roads, you can see our windshield wipers going at a pretty quick pace as we're driving through this rain band here in Durham. Yes, we're traveling on I-40 East, and it actually just began to start picking up again. But there was at one point earlier this morning where things were pretty consistent, really impacting our visibility. So if you are traveling early this morning, keep in mind the roads are slick, the roads are wet, and you really want to make sure you reduce your speed if you're traveling through this. You know, when it comes to these instances, we see people hydroplaning, and then there's the accidents that start to pick up. So again, if you're heading out this morning, take your time, reduce your speed. You can even see this tractor trailer here to my left with all that water gathering on its tires. So again, take your time, slow down, reduce your speed, because it's going to be a messy morning commute. Ken?
All right, some very good advice there. And of course, you watch for ponding on the road. And it's the law in North Carolina. But if you come across a crash, make sure you move over one lane to give law enforcement officials an opportunity to work those crashes safely. We'll be here this morning to let you know what you can expect when you head out this morning.
Ken, thanks. We have some school delays to tell you about this morning because of the lingering impacts from the weather. Moore, Lee, Harnett, Hoke, Cumberland, Sampson, and Wayne County schools all will open 2 hours late today as a precaution. Crews are working to remove a tree that fell down in a Raleigh neighborhood, knocking out power for some who live in the area. Video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows crews cutting a large tree into smaller chunks in order to clear it. This is on Whitman Road, not far from Carolina Country Club. They've been working all night to get power back on for customers in that area.
Folks in eastern North Carolina are working to clean up after more than 18 inches of rain caused streets to flood, homes to flood. WRAL's Brett Neese joins us live from Wrightsville Beach right now. Brett, this was a historic weather event, left behind a lot of damage. It really did, Jeff, and 18 inches of rain is hard to get your mind around because of just how much water that is. We're here in Wrightsville Beach, Johnny Mercer Pier right now, where the waves are rolling here underneath the pier this morning so far. Things looking good in Wrightsville Beach, but just about 30 minutes down the road in Carolina Beach, take a look at this video. Unbelievable the amount of flooding that was down there in Carolina Beach, and you can see just how much water covered the roadways, flooded cars, homes were even flooded because of this. New Hanover County schools are on a remote learning day because of all of the rainfall that they saw yesterday. And there is a Red Cross shelter, an American Red Cross shelter in Carolina Beach, helping residents out there in that area right now. Waters have started to recede as of about 10, 11 o'clock last night, but still just so much flooding down there, so much damage because of this. We saw a sign ripped off from one of the restaurants in that area because of the high winds that this potential tropical cyclone also brought to the area. We're going to get down towards Carolina Beach as we get some sunlight here this morning, but for now we are in Wrightsville Beach, live in Wrightsville Beach. Brittany, WRAL News.
Also new this morning, authorities in Southport on the coast are assessing damages to bridges after flooding washed out some roads. The police department posted these photos about 1 o'clock this morning. You can see it shows the damage to bridges on NC 211. That's one of the main roads in and out of Southport. Southport's under a curfew right now, in effect until 7 o'clock this morning. This picture, shared by the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office, shows a vehicle fell into one of those gaps in the highway there. Road disappeared under that water. More than 15 inches of rain fell in the Southport area in a 48-hour time frame. Authorities are warning people just stay off the roads. You can always find live weather updates on the free WRAL News app. It allows you to watch radar in real time to see when storms are in your area. Be sure you have the WRAL News app installed with alerts turned on.
Covering Wake County, school leaders today will review the response to school threats after an evacuation on a hot day in August led to kids getting sick. The response in question happened at Heritage High School on August 29th. Officials evacuated the school in Wake Forest at 10:30 in the morning because of a bomb threat. Many students stood unprotected from the sun for about 90 minutes. 3 kids needed to go to the hospital because of heat-related issues. 20 to 30 others were treated on scene. The school board will talk about the timeline of what happened that day and discuss ways to improve. Today, Raleigh City Council members will vote on a plan to move Red Hat Amphitheater. The plan is to move the downtown amphitheater 1 block south to make room for an expansion of the Raleigh Convention Center. Over the last few weeks, the city has hosted open houses for people who live in the area. Some people are worried that permanently closing South Street between McDowell and Dawson will hurt affordable housing and choke off accessibility to downtown. Others say the amphitheater is a huge economic generator for downtown, and if it means closing down South Street, it is worth it.
Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz will be in North Carolina. Walz is expected to speak in Asheville later today. He'll be traveling there after events earlier in the day in Georgia, another crucial swing state.
Senator J.D. Vance will be in Raleigh tomorrow. Former President Donald Trump's running mate will speak at a rally at Union Hall downtown. The doors open at noon. Vance is expected to speak around 3.
And former President Donald Trump will also be in North Carolina later this week. He is scheduled to speak in Wilmington Saturday afternoon. WRAL will cover all the candidates' visits now through Election Day.
During his first public event since Sunday's apparent assassination attempt, Donald Trump gave his first detailed account of the incident. He joined an X live stream event to launch his cryptocurrency project. He said that he was playing golf with some friends at his golf club in West Palm Beach, Florida, when he heard gunshots. Trump said, quote, "Secret Service knew immediately it was bullets and they grabbed me." The former president says the Secret Service got the group in golf carts and then quickly left the golf course. He also said an agent accompanied him. Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in New York City. What federal officials will reveal this morning about his charges.
Plus, a new on-demand ride service that you can now use in the Triangle. We'll tell you how it works.
And tracking a stalling storm system. This is a live look at North Hills where you can see the rain on the camera there. How much longer we'll have to deal with these storm chances daily.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:43. We still have rain lingering across the area and a good bit of lightning, too, especially up around Franklin County. All this rain will gradually shift northward up toward the Virginia line. We've already started to dry out in some of our southern counties where we ended up with the heaviest rain. And we'll look at some of those rainfall totals coming up. But 70% chance this morning. We're going to knock it down to about a 40% chance at lunchtime. And then there's a small chance for some scattered thunderstorms later on this afternoon. Temperatures are going to be warm. We still have a very tropical air mass in place. 72 this morning in Wilson, 73 Durham, 68 in Fayetteville. And of course, you can see the whirligig spinning there in Wilson. We're going to see some winds gusting up to around 20 this morning. Walking the dog today, it will continue to dry out as we get into the afternoon.
Part of Highway 12 on Ocracoke Island is closed until further notice after storms caused this. Right after those storms rolled through, the ocean overwashed that roadway. NCDOT posted this picture to its Facebook page. You can see the sand and water just completely covering that road. This happens a lot during these storms. It's not clear when that road will be able to reopen again. Ferry service between Hatteras and Ocracoke has also been suspended.
This morning, we'll learn more about the indictment against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs after he was arrested last night in New York City. Combs was taken into custody by federal authorities inside a Manhattan hotel. In a statement, federal officials say they expect to unseal the indictment this morning, so we'll learn more about what the charges are. Earlier this year, Combs became the target of a months-long sex trafficking investigation by Homeland Security. Since last November, Combs has faced 10 lawsuits.
New surveillance video in a high-profile death investigation in Vance County. This video shows a man who appears to be Javion McGee buying blue rope at a Walmart. McGee was later found dead at the base of a tree near Henderson with a rope around his neck. His family says they don't believe he died by suicide. The Vance County Sheriff's Office released the surveillance video. It was taken the night before McGee's body was found. McGee was a truck driver from the Chicago area. His family believes he was murdered, and they say the video showing McGee buying rope does not change their mind.
This is part of trucking equipment used for loads. The family still suspects foul play. The family also stated that they still want transparency, they want accountability, and they want justice.
A person who called 911 said it appeared McGee had hung himself in a parking lot near where he had parked his truck. The sheriff says he is waiting for the autopsy results.
Law enforcement in Kentucky have searched more than 28,000 acres trying to find a man accused of shooting into cars on a busy interstate earlier this month. Joseph Couch is accused of shooting 5 people on Interstate 75 on the night of September 7th. Investigators later found his car abandoned. They have been searching in the heavily wooded area for 10 days now. Kentucky State Police say a lead took them to a home on Monday, but they did not find Couch there.
Covering Wake County, a new on-demand ride service is now available in Raleigh, Rollsville, and parts of Wake Forest. It's Go Raleigh Rollsville Microlink, and it is called a shared curb-to-curb ride service. Passengers have the convenience of a private ride with a maximum of 8 passengers per trip. The program offers free service for the first year. City of Raleigh Transit Planner Melanie Roush says it is more convenient than standard bus routes.
So it provides a whole lot of more opportunities to go to different destinations within the Rollsville area. This one also will provide connection into Wake Forest, which is really great, something that the Rollsville prior studies for a public transit connector between Rollsville and Wake Forest found there is a need for.
So to catch this lift, you can book the ride by phone or visit the Microlink app.
Students at NC State will have the day off from class today. The university will observe today as a wellness day. Students and staff are encouraged to take the day to focus on their mental health and well-being, as well as check on others. There will also be events taking place on campus to support mental health and well-being.
4:47 the time right now. It'd be great if we could give them a little sunshine for the Wellness Day. Not sure that's going to happen. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. When will we see it again?
You know, this afternoon. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of sunshine. The farther south you are, the better chance that you may see it. But there also, because it's still going to be pretty moist and warm out there, could be a couple of isolated pop-up thunderstorms too. We're still dealing with one of these big rain bands, of course, from our potential tropical cyclone, and that's affecting folks from the Triangle area northward. But this all will continue to lift northward. We've seen smaller amounts of rainfall in our northern counties, and this is going to be your turn today. Probably not going to catch up to what we saw down south, which is just fine. You can see some scattered showers around Chapel Hill, Durham, Raleigh, Bailey, Nashville, Wake Forest. As you head northward, Lewisburg seeing some of the heavier rain, and it's starting to lift northward toward Oxford and Henderson, and eventually on up into Mecklenburg County, Virginia. Some of the rainfall totals were pretty much right on what we were forecasting. About 5 inches in Dunn. Fort Liberty had almost 4 inches, about 3.5 in Cary, about 3 inches in Rayford, Clayton a little over 2, and Wake Forest a little over an inch. And of course, what we saw along the coast was absolutely incredible. We had a band of rain that developed and moved right there over Carolina Beach for hours and hours, bringing 18 inches of rain. And of course, we have Brett Neese down there. It's going to be talking more about all the damage that was done. But look at this. This is in the last 24 hours, and the rain started earlier than this. So you can see where we had the 16, 12, 14 inches, but it was technically in Carolina Beach about 18 inches of rainfall. And take a look at this. Nearby in Bolivia, you can see Sydney Medlin sent us this photo, and so many photos. There's a car that's underwater. Just heartbreaking amounts of rain and flooding that folks saw there. Send us your Weather Watcher photos. Go to WRAL.com, search Weather Watchers, and send us a few photos. This is a look at what's happening now with the system. The center of circulation is actually near Columbia, but these rain bands will continue to push northward, dry air moving into the south. And so we'll see the end of the system today. You can see here on Futurecast this band of rain that's sitting over us this morning, and watch how at lunchtime it's pushing northward, and it keeps on going as we get into the afternoon. A couple of thunderstorms could pop up along that line, of course, during the afternoon. But look at that, a little bit of sunshine starting to break through. Forecast rainfall for the next 5 days. There's still some out there, anywhere from 1/2 inch to an inch, inch and a half, depending on thunderstorms that will develop. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Still breezy this morning. We have gusts at around 25 miles per hour in the Triangle. We had some heavy rain here in Lewisburg, starting to taper off a little bit. It is 73 degrees with a dew point of 70, so it's really sticky out there around town. We'll climb into the mid to upper 70s to around 80 degrees. And as we get into the weekend, our dew points will finally start to drop a little bit. But we still have a chance of storms, 40% chance for tomorrow and Thursday. But check out this weekend. Sunday is the first official day of fall, and that looks gorgeous, Ken.
Looking forward to that. And 4:32 now, up to 10 minutes before 5 o'clock, we have the opportunity to combine our live traffic sensors with the dual Doppler 5000 this morning. So the yellow showing where you can see the heaviest rain is falling right now. We also have the WO storm tracker out on the roadways this morning. Right now, the Laura Levine and Charles Bradley are on the Durham Freeway. We're making their way along the Durham Freeway. You can see their windshield wipers going. And as Laura just mentioned just a little while ago, definitely watch your speed and watch the ponding on the road to avoid any opportunities there for hydroplaning. You can see the wet roads and getting caught up in the wheels as cars go by there. Also, if you come across a crash, make sure you just move over one lane and give yourself an opportunity and law enforcement officials a chance to watch what's going on there. Really quickly, there's a crash on I-440 eastbound there, Jones Franklin Road, not causing any problems in that particular area, but I'll continue to watch that. And of course, you can listen to us anytime on 101.5 HD3.
If you've used services from the company 23andMe, you could be entitled to some money. The $30 million lawsuit the company has settled over a data breach that impacted millions of people.
Plus, The Matrix is everywhere, including back in theaters, when you can see the classic sci-fi film on the big screen for its 25th anniversary.